everybody, and once again you are welcome to my YouTube tutorial. And in today's video we'll be talking about financial report once again. And in this financial report, these are the things that we are going to do. So this is the sales that we have to analyze, and this is the sales versus costs of goods sold. So we have our sales versus cost of goods sold year and quarter, and then we have sales margin, average order, cost of goods sold, and the profit percent by year and the month. So this is what we have to do, and this is the slicer that we have to use. So we have to go back to the source. So we'll see what do we have from each country. First of all, from Canada, we have, you can see, the sales from Canada is 24,876,655, and the cost of goods sold is 21,358,246. So, and we have the margin of 3,529,229, and the profit is 16.52% profit. So these are the things we are going to be looking at together, and plus any other things that we are going to be analyzing and also visualizing together. Please, if you are new to this video and if you are new to this channel, what we do is we build visualization around data. We use Microsoft Excel, we use Power BI. As you can see, this is Microsoft Power BI, and also we are yet to introduce another visualization tool, which is Looker Studio. Look out for that. And please, if you find any of my video useful, if you find any of my video interesting, please subscribe, please like, please comment, and click the bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So I will go to the background. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to use the same color, so I'll come to more, then I'm going to copy this color. So I'm going to make this color copied. Then after copying this color, then already, let me close it. Let me close it as well. I have my blank Power BI opened. Then this is my blank Power BI. I go to format as well. Let me see. Then I go to background, then to the color, then I'm going to more, then I'm going to paste this color to have the same thing. Then I'm going to reduce the transparency, let me see, to compare with what we actually have for the first. I will come back here. I want to see the transparency level, and the transparency level is 42. Good. Then go back to this and see the transparency level is 34, so I have to go back to 42. So we have this perfectly done. That is the first thing we have to do. Then if you have not opened your home, please, you can kindly do that. So the second thing I'm going to do is, before uploading the data, I'm going to have my work save, and I'm going to save 6 financial data. So we wait for that, and we are going to continue our right from this. So I'm going to have sales into financial report. So that is going to be the name for this dashboard, 6 financial report. Then I'm going to save my work now. Then I'm going to name this as just page 1. I'm going to name it as report. I'm going to click enter. Then we go to getting our data. Then getting our data, I'll go to get data. Then I'm going to Excel. Then from the Excel, I will go to the financial data. Then I will get the financial sample. Then I'm going to click OK. So we have our financial data upload already. So we are waiting for it to fully load. Then we transform our data as well. So let's wait just a bit. So we have our financial data, and we have everything ready. So the next thing is we transform our data. So we have our data load already. Then we go to our date first of all, because we are going to create a new date. So we go to date. This is our date, and we are going to check the date. You can see from our date we have 2013 to 2014, 2013 01 09 to 2014 01 12. So we cancel it. Then the next thing we are going to do is, we don't have to, let's remove this. We go to our source, then we go to our blank query. Once again, from the source, go to the blank query. So we open the blank query because we want to create a new date. So from here, we go to, remember what I said? From here, you open there, you go to blank query. Then from the blank query, in the blank query open, then you go to advanced editor. Then we have the advanced editor opened because we want to create a new date. Already I have the formula ready, so I'm just going to do some things, copy and paste. So I'm going to dash date and code. So let me open this. Let me open this, and we are going to have our dates here. So this is the date we are going to use. Let me scroll down and let me see if everything is actually correct. So we are going to use this. So I'm going to Control A, then Control C for me to copy this. Then I close this as well. Then we come to our advanced editor. Then the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click OK. So let's wait and let's see. Then we have our enter date. So we are going to start, because our date is from 2014 to 2014, I think 13 to 14. So let me, please permit me to check the date again. I think it's going to be 2014 to 2015. So let me go to, let's come back here. Let's go to, and then we'll come back to our dates. We'll come back to our date. We'll see, where do we have our dates? We have 2013 and 2014. So we have two dates. So we come back to the query. So we are going to have an example, which is going to be 01 2013. That is the start date. Then the end date is going to be 12/31/2014. So what's wrong? So you are telling me the date is wrong. So we are going to have the date to be 31. Then we are going to have 12. So that is it. Then the next thing is we are going to fiscal year start month. So we are going to just we are going to invoke. Okay. The fiscal start here will start from, you can as well start from 1. So the fiscal year can start from 1 either. So we click invoke. Okay, let me say function start as date, end date, fiscal month as number, as table. So it's going to start. So we invoke. Then we have our dates here. You can see we have our date, we have our year, we have our quarter here, we have our month here, we have our day of month, we have our everything month name, we have our short month, we have our month calendar. So we have several things too. We have our quarter one, quarter two, we have our day of week, we have our week ending, we have week number, we have year month, then we have the physical year 14, 14, 14, 14. Okay, the physical year is 14. If I said the physical year should be 0, that means it will have been 13. Never mind, because we are still not going to use the physical year. So we come back here, then we are going to, let's go back. This is the date that we want to create. Then we come down here, then we rename. Let's come to rename. Then we have our something as dates. So that's all. That is just all that we have to do here. Every other thing, the short month, we don't have to bother ourselves about that. So we come back here, then everything is actually good. If there's anything we need to do, we come back here. So let's go to close and apply. So we go to close and apply, and we have our data close and applied. So we wait a bit, and we begin to analyze our data. So wait just a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Let's just give it some minutes and let's see how it goes. And then from there we start our analysis once again without any further delay. Our data already, so we have our financial data, then we have our date. So let's check the relationship and let's see if we have a correct relationship. So there's no relationship between them. So we have our date. So why are we not having the relationship being connected automatically? I think the relationship should connect automatically. So what we are going to do is we are going to put the date to the date. So the date from the date table to the data. So we have our date, and also we have our date here. So that is all that we just have to do. Put the date to date. So it's going to be 1 too many. So this is our date. So this is our financial data. So we pick the dates and we bring it down here. So we are going to have 1 too many. Yeah. 1 too many relationship. Good. Then we are good to go. So we have 1 too many relationship. So that is fine. I can as well bring this down here. So I can as well shift this down here. So for us to see, it's 1 too many. So we go back here. Then we save our work for the first time. Then we go to our visual. I'm not going to create any measure for this. I'm just going to use them directly. So we can learn as both. So we can create measure, and as well we can also analyze our data without that. So I'm going to use what we call multi-row card. So I'm going to pick this instead of me picking it one using this card differently. I'm going to pick this multi-row card and I'm going to bring it down here, and I'm going to just make it here. So we have it as centered. Then the first thing we are going to pick, we are going to pick, first of all, we are going to pick our sales. We have our sales price. So we have it there. Then we wait for it. And the second one that we are going to pick is our sales to be 8,000 at 82,900, but that is not the actual price. So I'm going to close this. Then we go to enter data. We are going to enter data and let's wait for it. Then we are going to just name it mayor. So we have our mayor crate. Then we load. Then we wait a bit for it to just load. Then we have it here. Then we go to these three dots. Then we create mayor. Then we are going to create our average order. So we are going to make it our average order. So that is the first thing we are going to make. So we have our sales. So let's create a sales, just a minute. Then we have our sum of sales. So we have our sum of sales. So the first thing we are going to do is we have our sales here. So give us the sum. So we have in our sum of sales. So we'll come down to our sales, financial sales. So we have this. Then we'll close it. Then we'll click enter. I think it could be better for us to use mayor. So that is why I decided to create a mayor. So we'll come to this. So instead of using this, we'll come down to use this ourselves. So we have our sales to be there. Then I'm going to remove this column 1. We actually don't need it. Remove it. Yes, delete it. So the next thing we are going to create is our cost of goods. Cost of goods spent. So we are going to wait for it. I think that is fine. Then we can easily come to the new mayor. So we have our new mayor here. Then we are going to have our cost of goods here. So we just have to make it as simple as we have to COGS. So cost of goods sold. And our cost of goods sold is going to give us the sum as well. We're going to give us the sum of cost of goods sold. So let's come down here and let's look for our this. Then we'll click OK. Then we have the second one. Then after that, we are going to create our margin. We are going to create the margin. And then how do we create our margin? So we have the second one already at the top. No. I'm going to remove this. Or let me just copy this because I don't want it to be somewhere else. So I'm just going to cut. Then I'm going to, never mind. So I'm going to delete it. Yes, delete. Then I will come back here to the this three dot. Then I'm going to have a new mayor created. Then I'm going to paste. And I'm going to click enter. So we have our cost of goods sold. Then the next thing is we are going to have our margin. So our margin is going to be our profit. So let's come down here. So we have it open. Then we can just new mayor. So it will actually work. So we need our margin. So we have our margin. Our margin. Margin equal to is just the sum of the profit. So the sum of the profit is just our margin. So we look for the profit. Let's look for our profit, and that is the margin. So we have this. Good. Then the next thing we are going to have is we are going to have our profits. So we need to calculate our profit, and that is going to be in percentage. So our profit is going to be margin divided by, I think, cost of goods sold. So we come down here, then we have our percentage of profit, or profits in percentage. So we have our profit, then we put a percentage equal to, so what we are going to do is we are going to divide the margin. We can just use divide straight instead of using, so we have divide. So we are dividing the margin, so we have our margin, and we are dividing it by cost of goods sold. So we are having the cost of goods sold, divide our margin by cost of goods sold, exactly. Then we put 0 in case if there's anything that will cover it. Click enter. Then the next thing is we need the average order. And how do we create the average order? We create average order in several ways. So we are going to go to our average order, and then we are going to have our average order created. Now, when we go back to, let me just go back to home, then go to transform, from home to transform. Then we are going to have, let's see, these are financial data. You can see we have 700 rows. So 700 rows, so we are going to divide it by 700. So let's go to close and apply. So we go to by the row that we have. So let's come down here. We have new mayor, and then we are going to average order. So we have AVG average order is going to give us, so we are going to have our sales. So we have our sales divided by 700, which is the number of rows that we have. So we click OK. The last but not the least that we are going to create, we are going to create sales versus cost of goods sold. So we can just pick our numerator from here, and we didn't put percentage here. So let's create this, then we have our percentage there. Then the next thing we are going to have is sales versus cost of goods sold. Then it's going to give us, so we are going to minus the sales that we have from the cost of goods sold, calculator, cost of goods sold. So we have OK, and that is all. Click enter. So we have everything perfectly done. So then the next thing we should do, let's close this. Okay, let's come back to our profits. Let's put percentage. We have this, and let's go to, why are we having something like this? Let me click out and let me come to, okay, and let's have our percentage. Then I'm going to make everything probably 1, not 2. I don't want it to be into this one. Then let me go back to this. Everything should be in 1 decimal. And margin as well should be in 1 decimal. Then we've already done for profits. Then this should be also in 1 decimal as well. So then we can just come back here. So we have our sales already. We're picking our sales. So we are going to pick our cost of goods sold. We have the cost of goods sold. then followed by our margin. So we have our margin, then we are going to have our profits, and let's see the percentage of profit we are having. Good. And then the last but not the least, we are going to have our average order. So I'm going to expand this. So to have it, we'll click close this, then we'll go to format. I'm going to format this, then I'm going to size and style. I'm going to remove the background, and then next thing I'm going to do is, so we have our sales, we have our margin, so we have our profit, then we have our average order, so we have everything perfectly. I'm going to, let's go back to our system from sales. So let's put a comma, and then let's make it actually 0. It's good. Then let's go to profit. Profit, we can leave it like that. We are not going to change anything about the profit. So let's go to margin. Margin, we are going to put a comma as well, and we are going to make it 0. Then good. Then we'll go to cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. Then we are going to have a comma there. Then we are going to have 0. And let's see what will happen. So good. Then average order, we're just going to have it as 0 as well. So we have everything as 0, as you can see. So we are actually done with that. Then we come down to the card. You can see the card here. So we come down to the card, and we are going to accent bar. We're going to off it. The accent bar, let me on it back so that you can see. So we have the accent bar here, which we don't actually need, so we'll remove it. And then the next thing, we go back to the call out value, and I'm going to make them white. Let me make the call out value white. Let me see. White is not actually good. Let me see this color. Not actually good as well. That is not bad. That is not bad. And let me come back to make it this dark. So that's actually good. Then I'm going to, let me come down and use both here. Then I'm going to make it 13. So we have this. So we have our sales. We have everything ready. Our profits. So we can just put this somewhere around here. Then the next thing is, we want to see our sales by country. So we are going to pick our cluster column chart. We bring it here. Then we have our sales by country. So we have our sales, and we go to our country. Then we have this, our country, because they will want to see from each country sales by each country. So we have, let me just try to move it down a bit so that I will just have the United States down. Okay. So we have United States, so this will just pull it down there. So this is actually good. Then the next thing we are going to do is, we go to the background, we remove it. We are not going to use, so let's go to our title, sales by country. Then we are going to center it. Then we are going to put a background color, and we are going to make it let me see, this color, and we are going to make the text color, we are going to make it white. So that is what we just have to do. Then we go back to x-axis and y-axis. For the x-axis, we actually don't need the title. The title is the country, so we remove it. For the y, let's close this back. For the y-axis, we don't need anything about the y-axis, so we remove it. Then we go to our detail label. So we have our detail label. So that's it. So these are what we have. Sales by country. So United States, you can see we have 25 million. Canada, the same 25 million. Then we have France, we have Germany. Then why are we having this same amount? I think it's right. So it's actually the same amount. So we have that perfectly done. Then the next thing is sales by segment. And for the sales by segment, we are going to use, let's use this pie chart. We have our pie chart here for sales by segment. Please, let's save our work. So we have sales. So we are going to have our sales. Put this here. Then we are going to have our sales. Then we look for the segments. So this is the segment. So we have our sales by segment. We don't actually need the legend. So let's come down here, remove our background first, and let's go to our title. So it says by segment is correct. We have it here. Then we have the background as well to be this color, like that. Then we have our text to be white. Then I think that should be good. So we reduce this. Then we are having it to be, let's have the same thing. So we have this exactly. Then we go to legend to remove it. Do you know why we are going to remove legend? Because when we come down to label content, we have the label content to be data value percentage. You can see data value and the percentage. So we are going to make it all detail label. By making it all detail label, so we have the name, the everything, so we don't have to, just that there's some that is not showing, but that is not a problem. You can always over it, and so we have this here already. So we bring this down here. So we have our enterprises, then we have our small business, then we have our government. These are sales by segments. So the next thing we are going to have sales by products. So we can actually copy this, and by copying this, then we paste. Then we bring this down. We bring this down here. Then we are going to have our sales by segment. Sales by product. So we are going to remove the country. Then we are going to have the product table. The product table. Let's look for the products. So we have the products. So we have the sales by products. Then that is sales by country, sales by product. So we have the right title. So the next thing is we want to say the sales by discount bound. Sales by discount bound. Then we are not going to copy this. I'm sorry. Let me just bring this down. Okay, let's just have it here. And then we are going to, what we are going to actually do is we change it to itmap. Okay, that's good. Then we are having sales by discount bound. So let's look for our discount bound. So we have our discount bound here. So let's remove product, and we're having discount bound. So that is exactly what we want to achieve. Sales by discount bound. So that is good. We have our high, that's 7 million, low, this. That is actually, then we are going to move this a bit to this side. Not really closer. Then we'll move this as well. Then we'll move this as well. Then we are going to move this a bit. Let's get closer. Let's move this a bit closer as well. And then what am I going to do? For here, I'm going to reduce it. So I don't want to really have something too big. So this is in line. So that is actually good. Then we're having something that is missing here, none. So we have this compound says none. So that is good. Then we are going to have, let's go to insert. Then from the insert, we are going to have this shape. Then we are going to have this line shape here. So let's see. So we are going to have this. Then we are going to move it down a bit. Then we are going to place it here. Then we are going to drag down. Okay. Then we are going to just is demarcating something, so we also make it tiny if possible than that. So we go to no background, then we go to fill. Let's go to shape and fill. We're actually going to make it not this color. We are going to make this. That's exactly what we want to do. Then border, let me see. We don't actually need a border for it. So then we can just move this up. Not up to that. Then the next thing we are going to have is we are going to have our filter, our slicer. So we are going to pick our slicer here. So we have the slicer in the side. So we have it done here. Then let's make it this. Then we'll have it up a bit. Then we are going to have the country as the slicer. Then we go to settings. Let's go to format. Let's go to slicer settings and let's go to drop down. And we go to remove this. So we have this good, but not yet done. The next thing we are going to do is we come down back to our insert and we're going to get a tiny line and we are going to make it this and we stroke down and let's see shape and fill. And we are going to make, let's go to the fill and we're going to make it something like this. That's going to be the fill. The border, let me see, I remove the border, there must be a border. So what should be the border color? The same thing. So we have it down, then we are going to have this here. So the next thing we are going to do is we come down here. We're just going to copy this. Then we're going to paste. Then we'll have it moved. Do we have the line move as well? Okay, so we don't have this move, so we copy this, we paste. So we have this under here. Then we are going to change this to segments. So we remove country. Then we have the segment according to their requirements. So They want to see filter by segment. I thought we copy this. Okay, let's copy this again. We are going to copy this because we are still going to reuse it. So we have this here. So let me see. Okay, good. Just that we just have to then we are still going to move this down. Then we are going to copy this and we're going to paste. So we have it here, closer, and this should be actually a bit closer here. Then we have this. Let's remove this down here and let's have this here. So we are going to have this. Then we are going to copy this. For the last time, it's going to be the fourth one. Then we'll bring this down. It is no copy, so we'll copy this, then we'll paste. So we'll move down. Then we have this. Then we have this. Then we are going to copy this, then we're going to paste. Then we have this here. Then we have this. Here. So the next thing we are going to do is we come down here. We change it from segment and we have products. Then we change this from segment as well. Then we change it to discount band. So we have the fourth one now. Then this sales. So we have this rename. So this is sales. Then this is sales. Then the next thing is we are just going to before we do that, let me just put a title because I'm going to duplicate this, then I'm going to remove this. So let's just come to here and let's pick this and let's make it here. Then we're going to have our sales, financial reports, and then I'm going to have it centered. I'm going to just increase it probably to like 16. Let me see. Good. Then go to background. I'm going to remove the background. So that's how. But I'm going to, yeah, that is all. Nothing more. Then probably I can just move it a bit up here. Then we're going to save the work. Remove this, close this. We're still going to use this. So we save it. Then the next thing we are going to do is we are going to duplicate this page. We duplicate this page and we are going to name it sales versus. So what I did was I changed the name from sales to sales versus goods sold. Then I remove everything that we actually have here. I remove it. Then that is why we are having this. So then the next thing we are going to have is, since we are having our sales by sales versus good, so we are going to have sales versus good by year and quarter. So sales versus good by year and quarter. So we are going to have our date for us to use. So we are going to have our date, and the date we are going to use is actually our date that we created. So we come to this, then we pick this line chart here, and we are going to have it here, then we have it here as well. Yes, so let's, then we are going to have our sales versus goods, sales versus goods sold by our year. So let's go to our date. So we have our date, and in our date we are going to have, first of all, let's go to our data hierarchy. We are going to have our year, then we are going to have the quarter, we are going to have the month, then we are going to have the day. So we are going to have everything September 2023, and then we are going to have it till January, July 24. So that is what we're actually going to do. Then the next thing we want to do is this. Let's go back to format. Let's format it. Go to not to remove, go to format, and let's go to background. We remove the background. Sales versus good by year, quarter, and the month. Sales versus good by year, quarter, and the month. So let's come down to our title. So we just centered it, that's all. And then we are going to have a background as this. Then we are going to have text as white. And then we go to our y-axis. We don't need anything about the y-axis. The x-axis, we only need the value. So let's go to the x-axis. Then we remove the title. Then for the y-axis, we don't want the boat. So we have this already. Then the next thing that we are going to have is we are going to have the data label. So let's just move down a bit. Let's have the data label. Yeah, September, this. So you can see this is, let me click out of it and let's see. So we have quarter for 2020, 2013, October 1, so we are having 1,657,79510. So you can see first, so we are seeing the sales, then we are seeing the goods sold. You can see what we are actually having from both sides. Then we come back here. Then we are going to have what we call, we can actually have all these things on one page, but I think it's just going to be somehow too cumbersome. Let me see if we can actually have this on one page. No, that is not how we can have it in one page. I would have said we should squeeze it to be in one page, but no. And there's nowhere we're going to put our filter, so that is where we are having it in 2 pages. So we are having this. Then let's go back to this. Let's come back here, and then we are going to the detail label. And from the delta label, we'll go to the value. Let's open it. Then we'll go to the value. And then we're having this to be this color. Then I'm going to make it bold. It's 0.83 million, so I'll rather use none. No. Let me use auto. Auto is good. 0.67 million. Probably. Let me use 1000 and let's see if we are using 1000. Yeah, 1000 actually good. So we have it in 1000. So that's good. Then the next thing we are going to do, I'm going to bold this. Let me come down here and use this. So you can see we have a very good color there. Then we have this over here. Then the next thing we are going to have also, we are going to use our area chart. We want to have the sales, the margin, the average order cost, profit, year and month. So we copy this. Then we bring it down. Then we have it here. But we're going to turn it to area charts. We're not going to use it the way it is. We're going to have it as area chart. So let me just draw it down and see what actually went wrong there. So toothpaste, and there we have sales and the margin. So by month and year, by what? Year and month. So we come down here, remove dates, remove months, then we turn it to area. So we still have as line chart, but I will turn it to area chart. So the next thing we are going to have is cost versus. So we are going to remove this. Then we are going to have our sales in our axis. Then the next thing is for the secondary axis, we are going to have our margin. The secondary axis, we are going to have our margin here. And then the next thing we can do is we move down and we go to shade area. Let's go to shade area and we are going to on this shade area. You can see very simple. So we have this shade area. So we have sales and the margin by year and month. The title absolutely good. Then we go to the legend and we are going to remove the title. This is the title of the legend, so we don't need it, so we remove the title. Then the next thing is we move down, and then what else do we have to do is this. We're going to remove this side. We actually don't want it, so we come down here, we come down to the secondary axis. So let's look for the secondary axis. This is the secondary axis. We switch up the value. So we have our perfect things done. So we can see sales, this is it, margin, this is it. Then that is not done yet. We are going to use a two pips, and in the two tips we are going to use average order, cost of goods sold, and the percentage. So let's come to our two tips. Let's use, first of all, we are having our average. Second, we are having cost of goods sold. Then the third one, we're having our profits. So let's come back and see what we have now. You can see we have a sales of 5,586,860. Then we have a margin of 6, which is profit, which is 669,867. Then we average order 7,000, which is 981. Then we have cost of goods sold. That is the cost of goods sold. So that is profit, and that's actually good. Then the last but not the least, we have to move back here. Then we are going to put currency. Our margin is currency. So we come down here, then we are going to use this currency. So let's have it. Our sales also is currency. So we come down here, we use the same currency. Then we have our cost of goods sold is also, we are going to have this as currency as well. So we have this as currency. Then our cost of goods sold, we have it as currency as well. So we can say we have everything now good. So we see medium, we see high, then we see our sales by discount pound. So we say this is a non 7,943,000, blah blah blah. So we come down to this and let's see what we actually have there. So we have everything perfectly okay now. So we see the profit that we are having, we see the profit that we are having. So we can actually send this to the stakeholder and tell them this is our findings. So I'm going to close this and let's come to our utilizer. We can see, let's start from Germany. There you can see this is what we have and this is what we have as sales. So I'm going to move this a bit up. So this is the profit, 18 that we are having. And then the country, which segment, enterprises, channel partner, I'm going to use enterprises. So we have, margin is minus 101. That's not actually good. Then we have sales of this. Then average sales minus 2 profit. Then let me see government, 30. This is actually working well. Then we will see this. Then you can see we are having our sales, then we are having sales, we are having margin, we are having average order, we are having cost of goods sold, then we are having profit of 27 points. So from there we can as well move down till we remove, till we use all the filter that we actually need to use. So we are having this, which is actually beautiful. Then we are going to close this. Then we come back to here. Then we close everyone. So we've come to the end of this sales financial report that they asked us to build, and we have to send it back to them. So please, if you find this video useful, if you find this video interesting, if you find it anywhere educating, please subscribe to this channel, please like, please comment, please share, click the bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Once again, thank you for taking this wonderful ride with me. Let's have our work before we call it a day. And the data set to follow along will actually be provided, so you are going to have a data set to use. So once again, thank you for taking this wonderful ride with me. See you once again.